Hey guys, what is going on? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, bringing you a review of Gears of War 4. There's been a lot of talk about this game. People want to know if this Gears game lives up to the other ones. This is the Coalition's first game. It is also the first game in the franchise since Microsoft bought the IP from Epic. So, did it live up to the hype? Is it a good game? Is Gears of War 4 in good hands? And I'm going to try to answer those questions the best I can. So I'm going to start off first with the campaign, one of the things I like most about Gears of War. And I like the campaign, first and foremost. I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was great. It's definitely one of the better Gears campaigns. It was just good. Some spots it was really good, some spots it was excellent, but it was dragged down by other things. But let's let's admire the graphics here for a second. This game looks absolutely gorgeous, especially in HDR. They use a lot more varied colors than they did in the previous Gears, so it looks better. I really like the extra use of colors, like the leaves are red and stuff like that. Makes the colors pop more. I really appreciated that touch. And the gameplay is the fantastic gameplay that you all come to know and love. It's a pop and stop shooter. You take cover, you shoot enemies. It's the best third-person shooter mechanics on the market. I mean, no other game it plays as well as Gears of War does. Let's get into the story. Gears of War 4 is set 25 years after the events of Gears of War 3. It features the son of Marcus, JD, along with his two friends Kate and Dell, voiced respectively by Liam McIntyre, Laura Bailey, and Eugene Bird, and I think they do a fantastic job of bringing their characters to life. Gears of War 4 is a soft reboot of the entire franchise. Hollywood's been doing this recently. Think Jurassic World, think Star Wars Force Awakens. They want to bring you a new story, but they don't want you to feel uncomfortable. They want you to surround you with things that you like. So, even though this is set 25 years later, and it is the same old Gears, Marcus is there. It's 25 years later, but he is there. He is a big part of the game, and he is one of the most... a fantastic part of the game. I really enjoyed him in the game quite a bit. Like he adds a lot to it. Like going through the first couple levels, I was like, man, I wish Marcus was here. And then he shows up in Act 2. I'm like, yes, this is what I needed. Like, he's really good. John DiMaggio does an excellent job doing Marcus Phoenix. But man, guys, that first act in this game is terrible. It is really bad. The robots are terrible enemies. You can see me fighting them here. I don't like fighting them. I think they're a bad enemy, and Act 1 suffers for them. However, Act 2 is phenomenal. One of the best acts in the game. Act 5 is really good. And Act 4 has a sequence that is straight from Uncharted, essentially, but is a lot of fun. The game also features a fantastic vehicle section, way better than the vehicle section in the first one. All in all, I thought the campaign was solid. I don't want to spoil anything for everybody, so I'm not going to talk about who shows up or who doesn't show up, who might die or who doesn't die, or how the game ends or whatever. I want you guys to play it for yourself. I was enjoying my playthrough. I played it in co-op with Heron. We played it on hardcore. We beat the game in about 9 hours, got all the collectibles. It's a pretty meaty campaign. I'm sure if you played it on Sane, it'd be even longer. But I really enjoyed it outside of that first act. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. I think it's possible that this game brings in new fans to the franchise, although that maybe they may be younger, which is why I think they did the tutorial, or as they used the prologue as a tutorial, and you go through the 3 different sections of the previous games. You get to see the Pentrum lore for the first time, you get to experience Emergence Day, and you get to see the end of Gears of War. It's basically to serve as not only a tutorial, but as a primer for people that maybe have forgotten the events of Gears, or for new players coming to the franchise for the first time, and I think it does a great job of introducing them to the lore of the series. And that's all I can really say about the campaign, other than it's a solid entry. It's good.
Yeah, the store.
Overall, it's good. In some spots, it's really good. Some of it, not so good. But anyways, let's switch from the campaign for a minute let's talk about my other favorite part of Gears of War, the Horde Mode. So most of you guys will know, Horde Mode was introduced into the Gears series in Gears of War 2. You and a group of friends basically defend an area against an ever-increasing amount of enemies for a set amount of waves. Usually in Gears of War, it is 50 waves. A lot of games have copied this over the years, but it still remains probably best done in Gears of War. So the changes to this, what have they changed in Horde Mode? Well, for starters, there are 5 classes now. No longer do you just roll with whoever you want to roll with, whether you want to be Dom or Anya or whatever. Now there's a set classes. So you got Soldier, you got Heavy, you got Engineer, you got Scout, and I forget the last one, but there's 5 distinct classes. And each of the classes have cards that they can use and they could equip. For instance, I'm using the Soldier's card that gives him an extra 30% damage with assault rifles. A Scout has a really interesting perk where she can have a card, or he, depending on who it is, where each energy you pick up, you get like 40% more, 50% more. And the energy, this is another big change. As you can see, when you kill enemies, they drop things on the ground, the little yellow icon. That is the money, or the currency in this game. So let me set up how Horde is now, okay? So in the beginning of a Horde match, you go and find the Fabricator. It's this box. 2 people grab it, you drag it to an area you want to defend, you place it. This is the Fabricator. Well, then was where you buy the barricades, the turrets, things like that, the man turrets, and things like of that nature to help you defend your fortification until you beat the game. And when you go around and pick up the energy, you then deposit in the Fabricator and you collect it over time. As you can see where I'm right now, I'm repairing my fences because over the course of time we've gotten enough where then you go to the Fabricator and you buy these fortifications. These are upgraded to level 3 because we just finished wave 38, so we're a little bit neck deep in the game. But the core change comes from the character classes and these cards that you get in the Horde booster packs in the gear pack. So if you want to see what comes in the gear packs, I did a video the other day where I opened up a bunch of gear packs that came with the season pass. That's essentially what you get. Is you get these cards that you can upgrade to make them better, and it's all tied to the gear microtransaction system. Some people will like it, some people won't. I don't really mind it that much. You do seem to get a bit amount of credits to buy things with. As you level up, you get like 500 credits every 5 levels. And any card in the game can also be crafted. If you get a bounty you don't want, or a skin you don't want, or if you don't want if you get a card for your class that you don't want, you can just deconstruct it, scrap it, they call it. And then any other card in the game can be built using any scrap. So there is that. But all in all, man, Horde is a fun time. All the changes they made, I think, are made for the better. I really like the class system. It makes everybody kind of work together as a team and kind of like build their classes the way they want them. So you can, because honestly, guys, in normal, later on, like level 39, like 48, like the boss waves, because the boss waves come every 10, 20, 30, 40, it gets really hectic, really tense, especially if you're not prepared. And you could screw it up. A boss could come in there and you could destroy all your fortifications. And if you don't got money to rebuild it, you're kind of screwed. So it's not like the other Horde games where you can just jump in and just maybe beat it. Like, you have to be prepared. You have to be working together as a team, and I like that concept. I think this new Horde mode is fantastic. Some people are going to like it a lot, like me, and I think some people aren't going to like it because you can't just go into insane. Like, you will get utterly destroyed if you were like, hey, I'm good at Gears, I'm going to play insane. No. Because you're going to have to level up your classes to level 10, because right now, I think I'm level 2 in this, or level 3, you can equip 1 card. But level 3 you can equip 2, 5 you can equip 3, all the way up to 10, where you can have 5 of those special cards equipped at once. So you're going to need a team of people who are maxed out classes with maxed out cards. And that is the only way you're going to beat Horde mode on the harder difficulties, because there were some tense moments just on normal. I think that should have been a cakewalk. And we struggled a little bit. But all in all, Horde mode is absolutely fantastic, and I really like what the Coalition did with it. Alright, and here we come to the multiplayer portion of the review, and I'm going to be upfront and just tell you guys, I don't like the multiplayer of Gears of War. I never have. I know there are millions of Gears heads out there that are probably like, Gears heads out there that are probably like, what, how can you not like it, Rand, are you serious? But hey, it's just never been my thing. I'm more of a first-person shooter type of guy. But let's talk about what the multiplayer offers in this game. So first off, what you're watching is a clip of Arms Race, which is a new mode in Gears. It's basically a gun game from Call of Duty, if anybody knows what that is. If you don't know what that is, you get a set amount of kills with a certain weapon, and then everybody gets another weapon, so forth and so on. So you get 3 kills with the boom shot, you move on to the torque bow. You get 3 kills with the torque bow, you move on to the overkill. You get 3 kills with the overkill, you move on to the Lancer. You get my point. And the last weapon is the Boltok. So whoever gets the final kill with that wins. They also have another new mode called Dodgeball, which they had in the beta, which is basically team deathmatch. But if you die and your teammate kills someone on another team, you get to come back. It's like a little tug-of-war type thing. It's a really cool mode. I think people will like it. And then, of course, got all the returning modes that Gears players expect. You got Warzone, you got King of the Hill, you got Guardian, you got Team Deathmatch, you have social playlists, you got ranked playlists for competitive play, and you have even the co-op modes for multiplayer where you and friends can play against bots if you want, and you can level up and earn ribbons and have fun. Because sometimes playing against the bots is more fun than playing against the guy wall bouncing all over the place. I know. I'm just not very good at Gears. Either way. All in all, what do I think of Gears' entire package? Do I think Coalition is on the right path? Do the Gears have a bright future with them at the helm? And I think the answer to that question is yes. Gears has a bright future. Coalition exceeded my expectations because I didn't really think this was going to be par with the previous Gears games. I mean, you got to realize Gears of War 1 was like the first next-gen game back on the 360. It defined a whole generation. So, starting from the campaign, I thought the campaign was good, not great. It was fantastic at certain parts, terrible in others. I like the addition of the new characters. I like the more kind of like Uncharted-esque moment. I like the vehicle. I love the fact that Marcus is in the game still. Kind of old and crotchety, adds a lot to it. It's not particularly long. Like I said, 9 hours on hardcore. You can play it in 2-player co-op. It was a fun ride. It could have been better. Act 1 could have been a lot better because it is bad. They should just stop using the robots because the robots are a terrible enemy, just like the Prometheans are a terrible enemy in Halo. Horde Mode, fantastic as always. Probably the best part of this game, at least for me. I know people disagree and say the multiplayer, but I find Horde Mode to be fantastic. I like the changes. I like how each person has to have a specific role if they want to survive the harder waves. I think that's all interesting and adds a lot of teamwork to it. And you got the multiplayer stuff, which Gears of War lovers will obviously gravitate to and adore because it runs in 60 frames per second and it looks really good and plays extremely well as it always has. So at the end of the day, I would give this game an 8.0. It's a good game, really good game in certain spots, just not a great game by any stretch of the imagination. Definitely not a perfect game, but I'm sure there are people who disagree with me. I like it for what it is. I bought the Ultimate Edition, so I spent $100 on it. I'm perfectly fine and happy with my purchase. I don't regret it one bit. I'm looking forward to seeing what Coalition has up their sleeves for Gears 5 and 6, as I feel they're in a better position than 343 was with Halo when they took over from Bungie with Halo 4, because I thought Halo 4 was a bad game. So they're already ahead of the curve. So Gears fans, you already have this game pre-ordered probably. You don't need to listen to my review, but if you are listening to it, buy this game. If you love Gears of War, you'll absolutely love this game. Pick it up immediately. What are you waiting for? However, if you don't like Gears of War, you're not going to like this game. It's not going to change your mind at all. It's basically the same game as it's always been. So anyways guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed the review. Drop a like if you liked the video. Sub to my channel if you want to see more content. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you around. Have a good day, guys.